Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the YRT podcast. And I'm Harry, and that's Dale.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. And we're going to be talking about, well, we didn't do an episode last week. So today we're going to be talking about episode 3 and 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then once we've done our spoiler review for both of those, we're going to move on and talk about the Snyder Cut, because we haven't had a chance to properly delve into that one together yet. So yeah, episode 3 and 4 seems to be picking up quite a lot. I'm enjoying it. What do you think?
Yeah, completely agree. It's really stepped up in the last two episodes. Significant improvement, I thought, in the first two episodes.
Yeah, no,
A lot
agree.
more interested in the story now. But yeah, there's a lot. It's really hard to know where to begin, isn't it? In these two episodes, because there's a lot of big moments, a lot of like character moments, like a lot of I suppose like last episode we haven't even talked about it on the podcast yet is Zemo and Sharon Carter
Yeah,
and all of that. Yeah, but it's really there's been I definitely have been enjoying it more in the last two episodes, and there's been like a few moments that have really just made me go whoa.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. um,
Hello?
I was doing the Zemo dance.
Oh right, yeah.
uh, yeah, no. I think I reckon because it's the most interesting thing, let's just talk about it. Is like John Walker. Um, like I don't know. He was kind of like I liked him and I liked Wyatt Russell acting and everything. And then like the last episode, episode 4, he really like I really enjoyed him. Like I rate him playing that character. Um
Really
he's
well casted, yeah.
yeah, really well casted, and he's like got loads of layers to the character. And you think like what he did at the end, he killed the terrorist with the shield, but it's like awful and everything. And Steve would obviously never have done it, but he literally just watched like his best mate die by a terrorist who had already killed civilians. So it's like fairly justified.
Yeah, and it was like a real juxtaposition between like the way he was like holding it up. It reminded me of like Steve in Civil War with Iron Man.
Yeah,
And you think about that, Iron Man, like Tony wanted to kill Bucky
you did. Yeah,
at that moment because he realized that Bucky killed his parents, and he even wanted to kill him with the knowledge that it wasn't the Bucky, like Bucky was being
yeah.
like
So
controlled.
that's essentially worse.
Yeah. So what Tony was trying to do was worse.
Yeah,
Um, and but they did a really good job of like not justifying it, but I know what you mean, like making it seem like
it's just
how he
because
got to that point.
he was surrendering. He should have. Well, Steve would have, you know, arrested him basically rather
Mhm.
than killing him. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was just like Steve when he was slamming Iron Man. He stopped.
Yeah, he stopped. Yeah, yeah,
Could have killed him, but stopped. Because it's not Steve, not our Steve.
true.
Um, But yeah, I did think towards the start of the episode, I thought like because I in my mind I could see that John Walker was going to go down the wrong path and was probably going to do something uncontrollable. But I did think near the start of the episode when he started like acting a little bit funny and a bit like intense, and I thought this is slightly coming out of nowhere, like
Yeah,
it's. But then it was earned in all of those moments, and then, as you say, like the loss of his best friend.
yeah.
Um, in
I
that
think
moment, he must have been angry.
yeah, and I think as well, like he's trying to live up. He's trying to live up to the mantle, and
Hmm.
he's struggling. Like he's getting a bit annoyed because like the Dora Milaje, who we'll talk about in a minute, absolutely beat him to smithereens, and they're just people.
Yeah, yeah,
And he's supposed to be this superhero, or stand where he's supposed to be the new Captain America, and he's getting his ass beat.
yeah.
So you can probably see the frustration there. And then how he asks his friend. I can't remember his name. What's his friend called?
Lamar, isn't it?
Yeah, Lamar or Battle something.
Battlestar.
Battlestar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's asking him, oh, would you take the serum if you had the chance?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like conflicted about
Yeah.
doing it. He's
Yeah.
not just like, haha, I'm evil and now I'm going to take it and now I'm going to be strong. He's like conflicted about it. He doesn't know if it's the right thing, but he's getting so like, he feels so like beaten down, and he's honest about it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ends up taking it and just killing one of them after they kill Lamar, which, I mean, it makes sense why he did it.
Yeah. It was also like it was just one of them things where it was like even on Sam and Bucky's face where they were a bit like, oh, like
In front of like
no.
civilians.
Yeah, and everybody had their smartphones out, and like it was just
Yeah.
that shot is going to become iconic, isn't it? Like that shot with the at the end with the blood on the shield.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really, really good shot.
I did think like I was like, are they going to show like blood on the shield? Are they got like, and then it was just whoa, like the bottom half of it's just like bloody. It was just like oh.
That's the one thing that I've been wanting from this show, is like every episode I've been like, yeah, it's good, but it's not intense. I need it to be more intense. Like it has to be like crazy and intense. And the ending was absolutely crazy and intense, and I loved it.
Yeah. When as soon as like he gets up after Lamar's died and it like just bursts through that window, like it's just like he is just gonna do something
Yeah, I like that.
uncontrollable here. It's bad, yeah.
It was a bit like, it reminded me of a bit like Homelander, maybe.
Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah.
Obviously not
Okay.
obviously not the same, but
Yeah. Yeah, John Walker's definitely more like human than Homelander.
yeah. And he seems like he is a good guy. He's just under the circumstances that he was in, he did a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, there's an element that you understand. They've done a really good job of in a short space of time, in a few episodes, like really making us understand how he's got to this point. And even like little scenes that are so important, like whenever he was talking to his wife in the changing room and all, and when you first meet him and
Yeah.
talking about all the pressure of it all, and that like, it's all so important for his character. But where do you see him going from here?
Could be a downward spiral.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
You think he's gonna have to give it? Do you think he'll be forced to give up the shield and the mantle now?
It could be a fight between him, Bucky, and Sam at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
that could happen, but I don't really know how or why. But that seems like it could be where they're going with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think that in maybe the next episode there'll be some way that, or like he'll be asked to step down maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Because you can't have that Captain America doing that on the street in front of civilians or at any time.
All right, I was going to say, let's talk about Zemo, who is so like entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
Daniel Bruhl's such a sick actor.
he steals every scene he's in.
You can tell he's like a top tier level actor, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, like well, you probably think the same as me. I always think of like him playing Nicky Lauda.
Yes. Yeah.
Rush.
Yeah.
He's so good. And I actually saw, I know this is completely off topic, but I actually saw an interview with Nicky Lauda really recently. The real Nicky Lauda. And I was just like, whoa. Like, I remember I said to my dad, I was like, he really, like, he was played so well. Like, Daniel Bruhl's acting was amazing.
Yeah.
You see actual Nicky Lauda, yeah. But yeah, he looks like he's enjoying himself too in every scene that he's in.
Absolutely. And and it seems like he's kind of, I don't know about you. Do you think he's pulling the strings somehow more than what we know? Or
Yeah. he's definitely got a overall master plan because we know that he's capable of that from Civil War.
He's definitely got risk to his plan though, because of like the Dora Milaje coming after him. Like that, like he's obviously he could easily be caught by them. So he needs a bit of luck, obviously.
Yeah, he does. That's just his character as well, though. Like that
I
things
love,
sort of fall into place for him.
yeah. How good's that fight in episode 4 with the Dora Milaje where they're fighting and then he just finishes his cocktail and then leaves.
Yeah, I love that. Um, I love the like the sort of the new elements to his character that we're getting in the show, like as like the added humor and
Hmm.
um, just the kind of like the element of him being really rich as well.
Yeah.
I really like all of that. But yeah, he's fast becoming like the character that I most want to see on screen now on the
Hmm.
show. Like,
Yeah. And then
I
back to episode 3, all the scenes in Indonesia. What was it Indonesia? What was the city
um,
called? I can't remember.
Madripoor.
Is that is that set in Indonesia? Or
I think it's meant to be, yeah, it's somewhere in Southeast Asia. I think it's sort of modeled as a kind of like, it's a country, but it's a city like Singapore.
yeah.
It's sort of modeled in that way. But it's sort of like a anything goes kind of city where like the
Yeah.
law is very flexible and um from reading about it, it's got heavy links to X-Men in the comics.
Yeah, okay.
So a lot of people are excited that it's been introduced in this because
Oh
they think
yeah. I'm just reading it now.
Manjipur.
Madripoor is a fictional island located in maritime Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
mostly associated with stories from the X-Men series. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
and there's a quick shot in the episode, and I can't remember the name of the bar, but I think it's called the Princess Bar, and I
Mm.
think that a lot of people got excited because that's what the bar where Wolverine is always based in there.
Right, okay.
So
Cool.
like that was quickly in the show.
Nice.
Um,
Bit of an Easter egg there.
an Easter egg, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I like played, I don't know, about 30 hours of Cyberpunk earlier last year. No, late last year. And that city that they were in was just exactly like Cyberpunk to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, really like had a really cool vibe to it. Enjoyed it.
Mhm.
A good setting. Uh,
Yeah, and very much like it was Derek Kolstad that wrote that episode or that was involved. I think he wrote that episode. Yeah, he did. He wrote that episode. Who's John Wick?
yeah, that you could definitely tell. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's elements of that to it. And there was a couple of fight scenes, like one with Sharon Carter,
Yeah,
which was
that was really good.
yeah. I didn't realize she was like that badass. Like she just absolutely destroyed everyone. I was like,
I think it's just like a. It's not a retcon, but it's like a 7 year kind of. I think it's been 7 years since Civil War in the
yeah,
time.
that
So
if it's like she's trained like crazy for 7 years, then yeah, sure.
yeah, she had to
Yeah.
survive like because she's on the run basically, isn't she? She's an enemy of the state.
I like her character like her character development.
Yeah,
Good, yeah.
yeah, she was great. So yeah, it was the episode 3 I really loved it. I thought it was I like the fact the pace of it all, and how at the start you think it's going to be Zemo, a Zemo prison break episode, and then it's not.
Mhm.
Like it's just he's out really quickly.
Oh, I liked the editing during that scene.
Yeah,
How Bucky's describing how he would escape, but it's actually showing him escaping. It's
yeah,
editing. Yeah, I really like that. And you don't
yeah,
know if it's actually happening or not, but it is.
yeah. Then he walks out.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And yeah, no, that was really good.
Well, his Bucky like, let me just throw out a few hypotheticals. Let me just like.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. I know we're jumping all over the place, but it doesn't really matter. But another scene that I thought was incredible and might actually be my favorite scene in the whole show so far was the flashback to Wakanda.
Yeah, agreed.
It
Yeah,
was so good.
yeah.
Like his Sebastian Stan's acting during that scene was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might have been his best scene in the whole MCU. Like,
Yeah, and the editing was really good, like flicking back to all the stuff we know he's like been through, like back to when he killed Tony's parents and things like that, and he was like reliving it all.
yeah, it added that extra element too of, we knew that Bucky was in Wakanda like healing, but you didn't get to see everything that was going on. And
Mm.
so nice to see how much he owes them as well, and the ties that he has to them now, like that they were there to help save him and fix him.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Is her name Ao? Is that her name?
her name's AO. Yeah.
Ao. Yeah. And when she does the Kill Bill Volume 2 on his arm and it falls.
Oh yeah. What is it? The five palm. I can't remember what it's called now.
No. But she does that on his arm, falls off.
5 point exploding heart technique. I think it's called in Kill Bill or something like that.
His reaction on his face when that happens is great.
That's such a good scene in Kill Bill. Just sorry, I just had to say that.
That's like incredible scene in Kill Bill. Love it. Yeah. So Bucky and Sam, you enjoying their relationship, how that's developing through the show?
Yeah. I think overall, like I'm more like I like them both. I'm interested in them both, but overall, I think I'm slightly more interested in Bucky's character than Sam. But like equally, like I enjoy both, and it's just been lovely to see the growth of them both.
Yeah,
and I can see them, like I can see like them having a film after this further down the line.
Yeah, that would be good. Definitely. And then speaking of Sam, I love the callback to Winter Soldier, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, when he says, he can go in and talk to Carly. You can go in and talk to her because he used to deal with trauma victims through war and things like that. And he's like, I can go in and I have the skills to go in and, talk to her. So let me do that. And that was like a good, like full circle, bringing it back to what he was doing at the beginning.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was really good.
And it was just so typical, like when he goes in and he talks to Carly and she's like beginning to trust him, and then John bursts in.
You can just see it. It's going to happen like that. Yeah.
One complaint I have is like when the writing's really on the nose, like when she's like, "Oh, you were with him all the time, and now I don't trust you," and then she like runs.
Yeah. Oh, so that was your plan then? Get me like, it's just like, no.
I think she would have just run rather than say that. I just think that was a bit. Yeah.
I have to say, like, I am not the biggest fan of her character so far.
Yeah.
I think her acting isn't up to the same standard as.
Yeah. I can see what you mean by that. I don't mind it. I mean, the flag smashers, it all kind of makes sense, and their backstory is kind of cool.
It is a cool story,
and
like the way it's all linked to the blip.
Do you think it's quite realistic? Like if people were like just left on the street and not looked after, because it's like a world event, like 4 billion people come back into existence, it's going to affect people, and then they're like, it seems realistic that there'd be an extremist version of like a group of people who it seems quite a realistic, quite realistic.
Yeah. I liked the idea, like I liked the way Zemo kind of talked about supremacy and how, like certain groups think that they're the ones that are, the next and are above all of that and everything, but eventually things start to.
Carly better not be redeemed, because she's like bombed innocent people, even though they're on the opposite side to her. It's still like you're killing like innocent people.
It's
Just from her point of view, they're not innocent. That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really. I hadn't thought of that before. That this was going to be factored into the show at all. It didn't even
No.
cross my mind that like something like obviously the blip happened, but that this show would be dealing with people that are, as you said, like on the street, and it did kind of make me think about like post pandemic. Like there's going to be a lot of like issues around injustices and things, and people having lost businesses and houses, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Not good. But yeah, no, it's like I just enjoyed that. But yeah, like you said, her acting not on the same level as some of the other actors in the show. Nowhere, not even close. I mean, it's okay. I think it's okay. Not bad, just okay.
yeah. She's not awful, but
I can't get the Solo a Star Wars story roll out of my head. You know how she's the rebellion leader in that one as well.
oh, is she? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's probably where I know her from then.
yeah.
Okay, I couldn't think.
It's just like how she was like the rebellion leader in Solo, and now she's the rebellion leader in this. I'm like, oh, right, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but there was some good moments, like the graveyard scene with her and the guy. Was the guy that was with her who said he like really looked up to Captain America? Oh, I've just thought. So that guy who's like, I really looked up to Captain America. You're like the new Captain America to me. He was the guy that got murdered by Captain America.
So he literally was looking up at Captain America when he got killed.
Oh, that's crazy.
Really dark.
That's really dark. Kind of funny.
I know, but like it's really
Yeah.
yeah. And he and how awful too was it when I know we're jumping again as you say, but like how awful too was it when the only thing he could really say to him was it wasn't me. Like
Yeah.
it was just brutal.
Yeah.
Um
Enjoyable. Good TV. Good TV.
yes, very good TV. And I've heard the last two episodes are meant to be a little bit longer, maybe around an hour or more.
Mm-hmm. That'll be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if we've missed anything. The music's really good.
Yes, yeah. And in episode 3 and 4 in particular, there's been a lot of callbacks to previous score by Henry Jackman.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
no,
can
I
hear
like I
the
like
Civil War Winter. You can hear the Civil War Winter Soldier theme and Zemo's theme, and it's really good.
So yeah, so where did we leave the episode? Has he vanished? He's escaped. So what do you
Yeah.
think he's up to?
Probably trying to get steps ahead of Carly. I reckon he'll try and kill her.
He wants to end the super soldiers, doesn't he?
Yeah, sort of like when he was shooting Carly, he was like no, and then when he started like stamping on the
I was going to bring that up. That was a really good
yes,
moment.
yes,
How
stop them.
yeah, he just it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And then yeah, I'm trying to think.
Is there anything else that we haven't thought of?
Well, if you've got any more predictions of where the show might go, immediately.
Sam's gonna be Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
that
prediction.
yeah.
There's gonna be a scene where Bucky's gonna have. There's gonna have to be some kind of resolution with Bucky and the Japanese man. Isaiah has to factor back in somewhere.
Yeah.
Carly, don't know what's going to happen with Carly. I think. Do you reckon Zemo will go back to jail, or will the show end with Zemo on the run somewhere? I don't think they'll kill Zemo.
No, I don't think so. I think they know they've got a good character and a good actor there who can be used more.
Yeah, as I said, like I think I said to you, like he could easily be the new Loki.
That's what I mean. He's another Loki, yeah. Like a likable villain. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely. Okay, well, I think that will about wrap up our thoughts on Falcon and the Winter Soldier so far. We're really looking forward to the next episode, the next two episodes, which there's only two left. That's kind of sad.
Well,
Yeah, that's going quite quickly.
yeah, but I suppose it's just about a month, isn't it? And then we've got Loki, which is 6 episodes as well, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that'll be great. That's actually good segue there. We should segue onto the Loki trailer. Have you seen it?
yes, I have. I did watch it.
Okay, let's quickly talk about that then. Yeah. So apparently it's like some sort of time. There's an issue with time. This place that he's in. I hadn't like from the first trailer, like no idea what was going on. No idea. Maybe I shouldn't have watched the second trailer. Maybe you feel the same way.
Yeah, I've got a good idea of where, especially, well, probably don't know what all is going. Obviously, don't know what's going to happen in later episodes, but like how it starts off now, I've got probably a good idea of the overall story of the show.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they. So what were they saying? They are like a control station for the timeline that they're in.
yeah, they're from the comics as well. They're like the time TVA, I think, the Time Variance Authority.
Mhm.
And they seem to have like had a warning. They've been monitoring everything, and Loki taking the Tesseract has caused like lots of different like branches out of this timeline that he was from, which is the timeline that they messed with in Endgame.
Mhm.
So it sounds like Loki has to go and fix that,
Yeah.
what he's ruined. Um, so hopefully there's potential for lots of like little missions in each episode, like to try and go back and fix things.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it sounds really good actually.
yeah, and
Looks
maybe
good.
chance of like cameos.
Ooh, who could cameo? Hmm. I mean, an
Or
obvious one would be Thor, but
yeah,
who knows?
or like you could have different you could have different iterations of you could have the past or different timeline versions of the
That's
characters.
that's true.
Um, Natasha would be still alive in that timeline,
Yeah,
I
yeah, because
guess.
that's set just after the Avengers,
Yes, yeah.
so it's 2012. Is that when
Mhm.
it's set? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Because it'll be right after. Yeah, if he's in the same, if it's in the exact point after
Hmm.
that moment. But yeah, it looks great. It looks like a great cast as well. I love the role that Owen Wilson's playing. It looks really good.
Wow.
Looks
Right.
really
What
different for him.
I don't know if we've already said this, but what is the bet? Uh, the percentage chance that he says crazier than a road lizard in this show?
Over or under 50%.
Over.
Over.
I
He could
mean, why
definitely
not?
say wow. Like wow.
Wow.
Wow. Is he
Seriously, but
could he
honestly,
could he be a villain?
but honestly,
Honestly.
it's not a dog. That has to be one
Stop
of the
being
great.
negative.
It has to be one of the greatest YouTube videos of all time. Is Owen Wilson's compilation videos of
Yeah.
the
I,
things he says in film.
I need to rewatch that.
Mm, very
Just for a
funny.
good smile and a laugh.
So yeah, really looking forward to Loki, which is in June, I believe.
Mm.
So not too long after Falcon and the Winter Soldier ends, which is great. It's just WandaVision, then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then Loki, and then everything else that's coming.
Yeah. Buzzing.
It's just continuous, which is ridiculous. Because like, do you remember even when we were at uni, like back when we started in 2012, we didn't get anywhere near the amount of kind of
No.
comic book movie, the volume of comic book movie stuff. We just didn't get it as much.
Yeah. It's a funny to think back on all that of how much we didn't know then about what was coming down the track.
And I think it's only gonna like increase in volume.
Yeah, yeah, and it's something that I am absolutely loving even more now is that the MCU just feels like it's all really coherent and like it's all the same world.
You're a big continuity guy, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like one of the biggest gripes I have with the Harry Potter films is that Hogwarts looks different in like every film.
I was thinking about that the other day, and I was thinking like because it's magical, could that explain it?
Yeah, but like it's just yeah, I don't know. It's just like the great, the fight with Voldemort and Nagini in the end on in Deathly Hallows Part Two, the film, and like the great like the moving staircase is just completely changed from every other film just for that last fight, and they're different, and it's just like.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, it's just little things like that are really important. I think for like a world building
yeah.
kind of.
So what do you think about She-Hulk? How Tim Roth is gonna be reprising his role? Do you enjoy that news?
Yeah, I quite like that, and I quite like it kind of brings the incredible. Like I know we've had Thunderbolt Ross in the other. No,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it Ross?
Yeah,
Yes, it is
yeah.
Ross. Yeah,
He's in Civil War. Yeah,
yeah. So his characters came back. It would be cool at some point to see Liv Tyler again.
that would be really great. Yeah, and they're talking about how Mark Ruffalo is going to be in She-Hulk.
Yeah,
Um,
which is
that's
great.
that. I mean, that could be. That sounds quite promising, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's probably one of the only then after like Tim Roth comes back, she might be one of the only like past links that are still around that hasn't reappeared. I think.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, we're even getting Jane coming back as
mm,
female Thor. I don't really, I haven't really read into it, so I don't really know. But I know she's back in Thor: Love and Thunder.
yeah,
Uh,
with quite a big role.
so it'd be cool to see Liv Tyler come back with a big role as well. Like instead of just like Mark, instead of just Bruce's love interest, like have a more of a bigger role to fill. That'll be
Yeah, here's something that I've been thinking about, and I wonder, like, do you think they'll ever go down this route? Probably not.
mm-hmm.
With the idea of multiverse and all of that and parallel universes, do you think they'll ever try and explain that Edward Norton's Bruce is a different Bruce than Mark Ruffalo's?
My initial thoughts to that is probably no,
Yeah, yeah,
but you never know. Like imagine like a future movie where it's Mark Ruffalo versus Edward Norton. Like, you know,
Hulk versus Hulk.
yeah,
Yeah,
that could be quite funny.
yeah. Professor Hulk versus Hulk.
Oh man, that just brings. I always think of like how I just really wish that Hulk was Hulk in the Wakanda fight.
Yeah,
Infinity
and it
War.
could have been. It
It,
could have
it,
been.
it seems so ridiculous that they didn't do that. Like, how sick would it have been to have seen Hulk like bouncing around Wakanda, like destroying those aliens? That'd have been amazing.
Yeah, it would have been great. I did enjoy the kind of clunkiness of and awkwardness of Mark Ruffalo in the Hulkbuster
Yeah, but
suit.
they could have done that. They could have done that afterwards. Maybe Thanos, like how Thanos beats Hulk and he becomes Hulk's too scared to come out. Why not you do that at the end of Infinity War? when Thanos comes to Wakanda, he could have like beat Hulk down then.
But like, I think the idea behind that was it's the kind of opening for Thanos, and it kind of it shows him as the big bad because he beats down Hulk
They
and
could
he
have
kills Loki.
they could have
So
they could have had him fight Thor or something in the beginning, you know.
yeah, but it's just such a like Hulk's one of the most we've seen Hulk as one of the strongest Avengers,
Yeah, true.
So it's just Thanos beating him down like a piece of ham. Like it's just
That's just one of my nitpicks.
yeah, I know, and especially because we thought Hulk was in the Infinity War trailer in Wakanda, so you had already thoughts in your head of Hulk in that battle. Yeah. In another timeline, we've got that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Nice one. I think we should round up our MCU discussion.
Oh,
Apologies to any MCU fanboys listening in, but we're now going to talk about
any of you listening in, if you're out there,
we're now going to talk about one of the most controversial, crazy, exciting, beloved movies that has come out in a while, and that is the Snyder Cut. Yeah, I'll start this off and say I really, really enjoyed it. It's not perfect, but for me, it didn't need to be. It just had the right feel to it. It made me feel a certain way, like watching an epic journey. And it was filmed. I loved the way it was filmed and edited. I, I don't know, it gave me the Dark Knight meets Lord of the Rings vibes. I don't know, because like you have all the scenes on Themyscira, and then you have Steppenwolf coming in trying to find the boxes, and the way he was more intense felt more like in Thanos in Infinity War, how he was like going around trying to find these things to bring about the end of the world, destroy the planet. Like the stakes were way higher. You understood the villain's motivation. He was trying to redeem himself. There was way more time given to all the characters to like to build up, like Flash and Cyborg, especially Cyborg, who had one of the like his arc went from terrible to amazing
yeah,
in a
completely
different.
different.
It's just ridiculous. Like I couldn't believe it, how much better it was. And it was just so good to see these characters together being like just being a good team together. I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I did. Thinking of Ray Fisher and Cyborg, I hadn't seen the Justice League,
Uh,
and since the cinema, like since I went to see it in the cinema in
that's the same
2017.
as me, yeah.
But I remember thinking at the time, I don't know anything about Cyborg. I don't care about Cyborg. Like, Cyborg's just there to fill up to be a member of the Justice League and to have Cyborg there. That's the way it felt in the film.
Mm.
Like, but seeing all that had been shot with him, and like how he was probably one of the most important members of the team, really, in terms of screen time and everything. You
Even
know,
like even in terms of like uh how he could access the mother box as
yeah,
well, like everything.
and his dad and his mom and the relationship with them and how they were so intelligent, and his dad was like sacrificed himself just so he could like show that. Was that in the original?
No, mm, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't even remember his dad in the original. Like
No.
I hate like saying the original, but like the theatrical Joss Whedon, like
Mm.
version. I don't remember any of that.
Mm.
But it was like really powerful, and it came from a place where we just seen like over the first few hours of the film, like there was so much time spent with Cyborg and understanding
I
him and his
loved
heart.
it.
And,
I loved it. It was so good.
he's one of my favorite characters.
Easily. And it just makes me like really, I know I don't even know if it's possible, but I just hope that they could continue the story as like an Elseworlds thing on HBO Max.
Yeah,
It would be so good.
I live in hope as well that there can be a continuation, but like with the way I don't want to get into it really, I guess, but with the way things are with Ray Fisher, I don't think he'll ever come back and work under.
Well, he's publicly said he would come back if Zack Snyder was directing Justice League 2. He's said that. It's just whether or not like Warner Brothers want that.
And it's probably about who he's working under as Warner Brothers, though, as well.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few people that he's not like happy to work with again.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, there's a demand for it. There's a demand for it. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm gonna say it. Like we live in a world where Jamie Foxx is back as Electro, so you never know.
Jamie Foxx is back as Electro. What?
Alfred Molina is back as Doc Ock.
I can't believe that.
I know.
Oh. Let's just after we finish our Snyder Cut discussion, we need to quickly talk about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 rumors.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, Snyder Cut, Wonder Woman stand out.
Yeah. Well, in terms of action, yes. Like her action scenes are crazy. Like I don't even know how they filmed that, especially the bank robbery scene, which is in the Justice League, but the extended version is so much more brutal and intense, and that scene especially felt like The Dark Knight to me, like that, a bank robbery with a hero coming in, and that was epic. And how Roose Bolton's gonna like kill all those kids.
I love how you say Roose Bolton.
The Roose is loose,
loose.
and he's about to kill all these kids, and then Wonder Woman comes in and the Junkie XL, and how like he's remixing the Hans Zimmer score. It's so good.
Yeah, it was completely. Well, was it Junkie XL did the Snyder Cut?
Yes. Yeah, they got rid of blah 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 blah. Why am I forgetting his name? Really famous composer who did the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Don't say.
I know we're blanking on this. I'm searching it now.
It's not James Newton Howard, no.
No.
Oh, don't tell me. What is it? Oh, I've listened to the score so many times. Why am I having a blank?
I hate like mind blocks. Wait. Where is it? Justice League score. Soundtrack for Justice League is done by Danny Elfman. Wait, did Danny Elfman do Spider-Man? Maybe not.
Danny Elfman did.
Oh, he did. He did do Spider-Man. Yeah.
He did. Of course he did. The Danny Elfman score for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's gonna bug me all night. No, it's not.
So yeah, they completely redid the score. Got rid of Danny Elfman's score.
Yeah. And I remember as well, didn't the Justice version start with the Sigrid song at the very start on the opening credits? You know the song she did called "Everybody Knows."
Maybe I didn't know who Sigrid was back then, so I wouldn't remember. But yeah,
I don't know if I did either, but I remember hearing about the song "Everybody Knows." It was for Justice League and all, and I think that the Joss Whedon version opens with that song, and it's like a Morning of Superman kind of scene. Well, we still have to talk about all that.
Which one? Superman.
Yeah.
Superman was incredible. Like it felt like, especially for me, that scene where he's walking through the ship and he's hearing both his dad's voices. Man, it just like it felt like the full arc of Man of Steel had like come to be there.
Yeah. I was really glad that I watched Man of Steel and Batman v Superman before this.
Yeah. What did you think to the Superman scenes in Clark scenes in BVS Ultimate Cut?
Yeah, a lot, so much better. Led on really well from Man of Steel. And do you know what I really liked about the Ultimate Cut? I know we're jumping around again, but the
That's
Ultimate
okay. We jump around all we like.
with the Ultimate Cut of Batman v Superman, I liked all the scenes with Clark going to investigate in Gotham.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, which was really cool. Just given like, and I got the story more in the Ultimate Cut. I understood what was happening a lot more. There was a lot of things in the first time I watched it. I was like, I don't understand. Am I being really silly here? But like, I
Yeah.
don't know how they've got to this point or what has happened here. You get to
Yeah.
connect a lot of the dots yourself.
Mm.
In a not in a good way, like in a confusing as hell way.
Even the worst parts of the film are improved. Like Jesse Eisenberg is improved.
Improved, I would say, but not great.
Yeah, I still don't like his like not the performance, the direction they went with the character.
Yeah, and the little like, oh, like
Pretty weird. I mean, I understand it. It's just not that entertaining.
and it's some of it's so forced as well, like that, like Clark Kent meets Bruce Wayne and all. It's just like, why would you like, as far as you know, like Clark Kent's just a reporter, like, and they're
Yeah.
just announcing that they're meeting just for the fans, like in the
Wouldn't want
film.
to pick a fight with that man. The red capes are coming. I still don't know what that means. What does that mean? Red
Well,
cape.
I don't know.
It's funny
Honestly, I
though.
have no idea.
But yeah,
Um,
like I will say my favorite moment, and I'm completely like surprised I'm gonna say this, is when I love it that Darkseid and Steppenwolf win, or Steppenwolf wins, because this legend of a parademon shoots Flash and absolutely wins the war as he's spinning around. The parademon shoots him and he like knocks Flash over, cuts him down his side, and then Cyborg is trying to hold this thing, the mother box. It's all come together, and then it just explodes and like it destroys the world. And then Flash is like phasing through it, like he's like phasing through it, and it's like incredible. And he's like, you need to run as fast as you can, like it's all been set up how he can like manipulate time with the speed force, and how he's like running and he's talking in his head about his
yeah,
dad and everything. And as he's running, like time starts to go backwards and he's stepping on Earth as it's coming back in time. And then he gets to the mother box when Cyborg materializes and he touches him, and then it goes straight into Cyborg's mind inside the mother box. And then he then deals with, all his problems because the mother box is fighting back from like an intruder. And man, like that whole sequence was unbelievable.
yeah, that was definitely a standout.
I loved it.
Felt like massively high stakes.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt to me, it felt like the Infinity War ending a little bit. Obviously, like they win, but it felt kind of as higher stakes as that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such a good build up to all of that as well. Hours of footage.
So yeah, so from your point of view, then, have you kind of you obviously, I know you love the MCU and that's your kind of thing, but seeing what Zack Snyder was going for, do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I appreciate it a lot more than I did before. Went in with the lens on of right. This I'm going to see what he wanted to
Mm.
achieve. I had a really good idea of it. Like that was his vision to make it a bit more grim, a bit grey, a bit sad, like a bit like destructive, and but yeah, with also a little bit of like there's a lot of like human moments, and it just it felt like an overall experience had been completed, really.
Yeah.
That I really because I remember when I first watched Man of Steel, I thought that Henry Cavill was pretty
Mm-hmm.
and quite wooden and bit dull really, but I get it now. I understand what they were going for and all of that. His struggles and yeah, I just I still don't like I'm not like, oh my goodness, DCEU, like ripping up down posters of Marvel and throwing up like Batman.
That's not necessary though. It's just
I know. I'm just saying that's I'm not at that stage. Like
no,
I'm not.
I get it, and neither am I. It's just like the films were good and we enjoyed it. Thumbs up.
Yeah, they were good. Well, Batman v Superman still I'm a bit
Yeah,
like
that's the weakest one, definitely.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. I still I've I've seen it now and there was some parts I was bored. I have to say.
I just like how it's teasing like Lois Lane dying and Superman being taken over by the life equation, the anti-life equation, and becoming like under Darkseid's control. Like, do you remember in the nightmare, like Superman's like evil? Like, I'd love a feature film with all that. I think that would be crazy. That looks crazy.
Do you think that that's what Zack Snyder would have went for? Would he have killed Lois?
He said in a interview, yeah. Like he's laid out his entire bullet point plan of where it would go.
Mm.
And
Lois, Amy Adams' Lois was actually one of the things that I loved more than I did before.
I think spoilers if you don't want to know, but I'll tell you, Dale, because it's highly likely these films won't be made. It's when BVS, when Flash comes back, he's like to Batflick, and he's like traveling through time, and he's like, Lois is the key, save her.
Yeah.
That ties into Lois has died. Flash has come back in time to tell Bruce to save Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of there was more put into that with the dream that Batman had, that Ben Affleck's Batman had, that Bruce Wayne had.
All right, mate. So let's do our final thoughts on Justice League. If you would like to go first.
Yeah, final thoughts on Justice League. So happy that I was able to enjoy this film
Yeah.
last weekend after having watched Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. So glad that it's nice on a completely human and on a completely human level to know that Zack Snyder was able to have this closure.
Yeah.
Especially after all the tragic circumstances around why he left in the first place and the issues but that he was given a chance to get closure on it and finish it off, especially and how annoying it would be now thinking about all of that great footage that was just sitting there that might not ever have been released. So yeah, I really enjoyed the film. It's not one of my favorites, obviously. I would if I had to give it a grade, I would probably give it a B. Personally, but yeah, I just really enjoyed the film. I like it. It made me appreciate the DCEU more than I had previously. And I am actually, I feel a little bit like there's been more life invigorated into the DCEU for me now. Like it's pumped a little bit more excitement into it. Because before I kind of thought, I don't really care that much. I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
But no, it's brought me back. And I'm sure it has with a lot of people, to be fair.
I think just when the film makes sense, the pacing, the characters, there's no weird cuts or odd scenes with Flash falling on Wonder Woman and stuff like that. Just really weird stuff that no one wants to watch.
The cringy humor.
Cringy, absolutely, so much cringe. And this one was just, it felt more like an epic for me. Like I said, it gave me, not that it's as good as any of these films I'm going to mention, but it gave me a good mix of The Dark Knight meets Lord of the Rings meets Infinity War. Those kind of tones mixed together. Really enjoyed it. Good to see Ben Affleck, more of him. Yeah, Flash and Cyborg, so much more. Aquaman was pretty similar. But yeah, Henry Cavill being a legend and Gal Gadot like absolutely nailing it as Wonder Woman again. So yeah, like really, and then another quickly, I was just gonna say I really liked Alfred, Jeremy Irons.
Yes, yeah. I appreciated him a lot more in this as well. He had a lot of good he had a lot of scenes with other members, just him and other members of the Justice League that I don't remember from the theatrical.
Yeah.
There was scenes with him and Diana that I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he sort of became like the Jarvis for them.
Yeah. And then obviously a bit more J.K. Simmons, which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I really liked it. I'd probably give it an A, just because like noticing knowing that it's not a perfect film and there's like the Martian Manhunter stuff. I mean, it was cool, but it didn't really need to be in there. The nightmare stuff didn't really need to be in there. But like if like the next two were coming out and it all flowed into the full story, you could forgive that.
Yeah.
If the rest of the story was coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I would give it a high grade. Really enjoyed it. All right, that will round up our Zack Snyder's Justice League talk. And quickly, our last topic before we round up the podcast is we got the rumors that old Toby is going to be back as Spider-Man in a new Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. Do you believe these rumors, for one?
I don't believe the rumors, no. I don't think there's any plans for it at the moment. But like, is it a possibility? Yes, I think so. Doesn't seem like the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I think it would be amazing if they did it.
I think I'm for it. As you, I'm sure you know, I'm a big fan of the original Spider-Man trilogy with Sam Raimi. Like I've seen Spider-Man 3, I haven't seen as much, maybe about 3 times. But with Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, I've watched a lot growing up. And Spider-Man, like the first one, was probably one of the first superhero film I can remember seeing.
Same, yeah.
So, and I just remember being, wow, like it was the coolest thing ever. Like I was so excited about it, and I got the video. I still have the VHS. I just like the idea of. I was always really disappointed when I heard the news back in like 2011, 2012 when we got Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and the Spider-Man 4 was cancelled. That was originally planned. I remember hearing the news and being really disappointed because I really wanted another Spider-Man to make up for Spider-Man 3.
That's the thing. Like they were planning on making it right up until the point of shooting or something. Like I don't know, don't quote me on that, but I've heard that like Toby Maguire found out that they'd cancelled it in an interview or something.
Yeah, it was a mess. I think the way it was, I think it was really messy.
And I don't know about you, but yes, Andrew Garfield's a good Spider-Man. Yes, there are some good qualities to his films. I really don't like the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I think they're awful, including the first one. I really don't like it. I get people like it, but no, not me.
Okay, fair enough.
Really
I
bad.
I see things in it that I like, and I like the first one. I don't really like the second one. There are a few things in it that I like obviously Gwen Stacy's and their relationship and their chemistry. I really like all of that, and I do like the first one. It's not my obviously probably one of the worst Spider-Man films, but I still like, get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
But
Because
I understand why you don't.
it just seems unnecessary and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much prefer Tobey Maguire, much prefer Tom Holland,
Yeah.
even though Andrew Garfield's still really good.
Yeah, and hopefully, if I know we've talked about this loads in the podcast, but hopefully it materializes that we get the three of them together.
I hope so.
Yeah, and I'm completely for Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire.
Just imagine if Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi continued on from the events of the MCU. Like
yeah,
that
but
would
it was
literally be
multiverse.
that would be crazy. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean that would be so good.
That would be amazing. I would love that. It would
See,
be amazing Spider-Man.
that's why it's not so you can think about it and think that's not that out of the realms of possibility, because Sam Raimi is currently in the Marvel fold now in the family with because he's doing Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness. We I would I can't see any other way now where Tobey Maguire isn't in No Way Home. So if they're both under the Marvel umbrella now, like people are going to be talking about them, and I think there's a possibility.
Agreed. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dale, for joining me for this discussion, this absolutely epic discussion about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Justice League, and a few other news stories. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. It was a nice chat.
Really good. And we'll be back next week for a spoiler discussion of episode 5 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.